The Bermuda Triangle. You know the legend, a cursed patch of ocean where ships and planes vanish without a trace. People have blamed everything from alien abduction to a gateway to another dimension. But the real cause is something way more terrifying, because it's real. Meet the rogue wave. Imagine you're on a ship, enjoying the sun. Suddenly, a wall of water as tall as a 10-story building appears out of nowhere. It's not a tsunami. It's a single, vertical monster wave, a liquid skyscraper that lasts for maybe a minute. The Bermuda Triangle is a perfect storm factory. You have massive storm systems coming from Mexico, the equator, and the Atlantic, all colliding in this one spot. When the waves from these different storms meet, they don't just add up, they multiply. They can create a freak wave over 100 feet high. That's enough to snap a massive cargo ship in half like a twig. It happens so fast, there's no time for a distress call. 1 second you're sailing, the next you're at the bottom of the ocean. No aliens, no portals, just physics at its most brutal. Next, let's travel to the freezing Arctic for a story that's genuinely horrifying. In 1845, the Franklin expedition set off to find the Northwest Passage. They had 2 of the most advanced ships on Earth, packed with enough canned food to last for years. 129 elite sailors led by Sir John Franklin. And they all vanished. For over a century, everyone assumed they just starved or froze to death. A tragic but simple story. But when scientists finally found some of the crew's bodies perfectly preserved in the ice, they uncovered a much darker secret. Their hair and bones were full of lead, insane amounts of it. Where did it come from? Those state-of-the-art canned goods. The cans were sealed shut with lead solder, and it was slowly poisoning every meal they ate. Now, lead poisoning doesn't just make you sick, it makes you go mad. You become paranoid, confused, and aggressive. You make terrible decisions. And that's exactly what they did. The crew started abandoning their perfectly good ships. They dragged lifeboats across the ice filled with useless things like silver forks and books, but left the food behind. The people in charge, the officers who ate more of the canned food, were the ones losing their minds the fastest. And the final gruesome clue? Cut marks on the bones, skulls cracked open. They didn't just die. In their lead-poisoned madness, they turned on each other. A high-tech expedition ended in cannibalism, all thanks to a tiny flaw in a tin can. And finally, the one you've all been waiting for, the biggest cold case in history, Jack the Ripper. For more than 130 years, the killer who terrorized London was a ghost, a legend. People claimed he was a doctor or even royalty. The mystery was so perfect, it seemed it would never be solved. Until someone found a shawl. The shawl was found next to the body of one of the victims, Catherine Eddowes. It was stained, and for over a century it sat in storage. But those stains contained the one thing the Ripper left behind: his DNA. Scientists recently used advanced techniques to test the genetic material on that shawl. They found 2 sets of DNA, one from the victim and another from the killer. They traced that second sample and matched it to the living descendants of one of the main suspects at the time. The name? Aaron Kosminski. He wasn't a secret prince or a brilliant surgeon. He was a 23-year-old barber from Poland who lived and worked right in the middle of the murder zone. He was known to have a deep hatred for women and suffered from severe mental illness, eventually dying in an asylum. Think about it. A barber. Someone skilled with blades who worked with them every single day. The answer wasn't some grand conspiracy. It was a disturbed young man hiding in plain sight. The man giving you a morning shave could have been the monster hunting in the streets at night. And don't forget to subscribe for more truths behind the legends.